Welcome back. Quick look around the region. It's mostly sunny at this point. Still a few clouds hanging out there, but low to mid 80s. Should be a pretty pleasant evening. Should be some pretty sunsets out there as well. Nothing to track on our radar. We're going to go ahead and move on. It's not a bad evening at all. Most of it will be spent in the 70s. We should start seeing some 60s creep in after about 2 a.m. or so. Don't know if 67 is doing it justice for us in Macon tonight. 65 for the low. Our dew point now at about 64, so this most certainly fair game. We got down to 64 earlier this morning. I would say 64 is on the table again for tonight, but for now I'm going to keep it at 65. Either way, a lot of these other 66s and 67s may be closer to this 65 that I've gone here. There may even be a couple spots to get cooler than that, so not a bad night at all. Pretty normal in terms of the temperatures. Let's just talk about B here. We don't need to worry about the other two spots. So spot B here has two potential movement patterns. You got north towards Florida and Georgia, and you've got west further into the Gulf of Mexico. It's got a 40% chance to develop right now over the next 7 days. Well, here's the pattern that we're kind of seeing set up, all right? We're going to have some high pressure creep into our region over the weekend. So that's going to keep things mostly sunny. It's going to keep things calm and pretty hot. Expecting a lot of low 90s over the weekend, kind of late August type temperatures, but maybe not as muggy as we would be in late August. Now, when it comes to this high, if it stays over the southeast, that will aid in turning that tropical system west. But if a cold front coming from the west pushes the high out of the way, or even dips far enough south that it starts to steer that system eastward anyways, that could force it our direction. So both those possibilities do remain on the table. As for us here in middle Georgia, we are expecting mostly clear skies heading into and through the overnight hours tonight. A lot of those temperatures will be in the mid 60s, so a little cooler than what you're seeing here to begin the day tomorrow. But it is going to be a pretty good day. I expect more sun tomorrow than what we had this afternoon, so this amount of cloud cover might be a little aggressive for what we see, and that's being very aggressive on the rain chances. We may not see any, but 1 or 2 tiny showers cannot be ruled out for tomorrow. Now, as we get into your Saturday, we are looking good as well. All right, high school football tomorrow, all those games are going to be a go. On Saturday, Mercer's hosting the Citadel. That game will be a go. I think this, again, too much cloud cover. We won't be seeing this much. You know, we'll get your partly cloudy cloud fields in the middle of the afternoon. That's going to happen all weekend long and into next week. Until we are out of a summer pattern, you won't see any of those crystal clear blue sky days. We need some real dry air to come in for that. So that hasn't happened yet. But I do still think that what we saw there was a little aggressive. Sky should look a little bit like this tomorrow, up to 90 degrees with that wind coming in from the east-northeast. And we do see a couple low 90s in the forecast, and more of those are expected over the weekend. Details in 10 seconds. Your 41 NBC AccuWeather 7-day forecast is brought to you by Volume Chevrolet. So we're going to keep it in low 90s the next few days. Looks like we will peak on Monday. There could be a couple spots pushing towards the mid-90s on Monday afternoon. Maybe late next week, that cold front that we saw on the map kind of comes our way, and hopefully we'll bring in some fall conditions for the final weekend of the month.